am back and we're going to do a tutorial with a final walkthrough at the end of this video for this board book. This is a design team project for Country Craft Creations, and I used the leftovers from my Echo Park Chilling with My Snowmies to make this. In my design team package, which I'll have linked below, and I'll also have my other tutorial, I received some heavyweight chipboard that I didn't use in the box project that I made, but I decided to use it and make a simple board book, and I'm going to show you how I did it. And then at the end of the video, I will show you a complete walkthrough of this. It has 8 chipboard pages plus lots of fun stuff in between, lots of tags and things. Just a really fun book that used up a lot of, well, almost all of the extras that I had. I have very little left, and I'll show you that in the video. So without further ado, let's get started and I'll show you how I put it together. We're going to get started with the tutorial, and I'm going to show you some pictures right now of what I had left over in my design team package from making my last project. So I had 5 sheets of pattern paper, and then I had a couple sheets of the coordinated cardstock. Now I put the coordinated cardstock off to the side because I'm going to use that for photo mats and things. And then I did save this page because it has the 4x6 cut aparts, and I thought those would be great to use as pages in this album. So I'm putting that off to the side. I took the remaining 4 and cut those into 6x6 squares, and then I cut the chipboard into 6x6 squares, and then I kind of stacked them the way I want them. So I have like the front and the back of this page, and then, like, for example, the front and the back of this page. And then I kind of stacked them the way I want, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them onto the chipboard, and then I'm going to use this Alt New espresso ink that I did get from Country Craft Creations in a previous design team package, and I'm going to ink everything because I don't personally like the look of raw chipboard. So I'm going to glue the papers on and then ink. So I'm going to show you one, and then I'll do the rest because there's 8 of them off camera. So then we'll come back and, you know, I can show you, but this is basically, this is a super easy board book, and I thought this would be fun and a quick way to use up your scraps. Okay, so I'm going to put that pattern paper down. This is how you build the pages. Now, there is one thing that I didn't do that I'm going to do in just a second. I'll do it with another page. I just wanted to show you this first. So I'm just going to put that down. And then when you put that down, you can kind of check the edges and make sure you don't have any pattern paper off the edges. And then just glue the other side. Okay. Now, you can use score tape if you would like to do that. That would make it probably a little bit quicker maybe, but I'm going to go ahead and just use my glue and lay that down. And I'm just matching my edges and just covering that chipboard nice and easy, okay? We're not wrapping, we're not doing anything. Now, because I don't like the raw edges, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around with my ink, and I'm just going to kind of ink those raw edges. And it will ink the paper a little bit as I go around. And I love this color. I think it's really pretty. And I'm not a fan of raw chipboard, so I just have to do that. Okay, so then I have my first piece. All right, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my ruler and my hole punch here and a pencil, because we're going to need to punch holes. So I'm going to go in about 1/4 inch to punch my holes. I'm not going to set eyelets or anything. I'm just going to punch a hole because we're going to use book rings to go ahead and bind this. So I'm going to go in 1/4 inch. Now I also want to make sure that I've got enough room, so my 4x6 pages are going to go in here too. So I want to make sure that I have enough room and I don't put my holes too far. So what I'm going to do is probably go in like 1.5 inches from the top and put a little dot, and then 1.5 inches from the bottom and put a little dot. And what that's going to do is between my fingers here, I've got 4 inches, and then my holes will be 1/2 inch up in there. So then my 4x6 cut aparts will fit perfectly right there. So I'm just going to punch those holes, and then I'm going to grab my Cropadile here, and I'm going to use the 3/8 inch hole just because I want to make sure I have enough room for my book rings. And I'm going to center that dot that I did and just punch that out. Sometimes you just got to whack it on the desk to get that hole out, huh? Okay, so then I have my holes punched, and that's ready to go. So this page is done. Now, if you want to do a closure with maybe ribbon or something like that, I do have enough of this ribbon that I do actually want to do a closure, okay? So you have a couple options. You could either put them underneath the pattern paper, or if you're going to use some sort of a cut apart or a pretty thing there, you could put it on the front and then layer your piece on there. I do actually am going to do that. I'm going to put some sort of a cut apart or decoration here, and on the top I'm going to put the ribbon underneath that and then have it, you know, kind of attached that way. But on the back, I'm going to put it underneath the pattern paper. So I'll just show you that really quick. So this is page 1, and it's done. And I think I'm getting ink everywhere, but that's okay because I'm going to be using photo mats too. And then I'm going to get my stack here, and I'm going to grab the last page here just to show you how I'm going to do that. So there's my last page. So this will be inside the album. This is going to be on the outside of the album. So I want to make sure my ribbon comes out this direction. So I'm going to get my score tape and put some score tape down. The ribbon is about 2 inches across. And I'm just going to take this, and this is what I had left over. So I'm just going to cut it in half. So it is, oh, I don't know. Let me see here. Let me try and measure it for you so you can see. There's about 12, about 18 inches. That'll give us plenty to tie a nice fluffy bow. I'm going to just cut that in half, and then I'm going to add this to that board. And I can get this out of the way for just a second. And line that up. We're just going to center that like so. Okay, so I'm just kind of going right here. And like I said, the ribbon is about 2 inches across. I'm going to put that down, and then I'm going to secure it with a little more score tape because I like to do that with my ribbon, just to kind of try and make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. And then now this is the back of the album. This will be the front of the album. I'll have an element here with the rest of the ribbon coming out, and then I'll have the back with the ribbon for it. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll take, let's see, the penguins go in the inside, so the dots are going to go on the outside, and I'll glue that down and then be able to ink everything else, okay? Now, where the ribbon is, I'm probably going to have to ink this side first, and then I'll fold this back and ink that, and then that way that edge is ready to go. All right, and I won't get ink all over my ribbon when I go ahead and do that. So I am going to finish all of these pages. So this will be my back page, all right? This is my front page, and then I've got all the pages that are going to go in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up these pages because we're basically going to make them the same as this. And then when I come back, I'll show you kind of the finished product. All right, I'm back, and I wanted to show you what this turned out to be. So I did use my scraps, and I don't have much left. I have one chipboard sticker that I didn't use, this hot cocoa. I do have some, you know, scraps of pattern paper, but not a whole lot. A lot of them are just little bitty strips and things, but I used up all of the bigger pieces. I did use a little bit of the glitter cardstock, but I still just have just a little bit left of that. My frames and tags, I use these extensively in this project, and I don't have a whole lot left over. I just kind of put them in one envelope, but I used most of those up in this. And then my sticker sheet, is pretty much decimated, so I did use a bunch. So this is my board album, and what I did on the front was add one of the cut-aparts from the collection. I backed it on a piece of the coordinating cardstock. I added a couple stickers, and then on the book rings that I got in my stash, they're 2-inch rings, I believe. Let me double check. Maybe 1.75 inches. I used those to bind this, and then I went through my seam binding I had from Country Craft Creations and picked some colors, some blue, white, and a little bit of light pink here, and then just tied it to the binder ring as a tassel with some twine that I did get from Country Craft Creations. I used the rest of my white polka dotted trim here to tie it shut. So here's the cover, and then here's the back. Again, this is a 6x6 album. And let's open it up and I'll show you what I did on the inside. So to start on the inside, so I used some of the colored coordinating cardstock for photo mats, and I did these at 3¼ by 4¼ Then I added like a chipboard sticker here. Here is the 4x6 cut apart that I told you I was going to put in here, and I did put the holes so that they were about a 1/2 inch in on these so they could be bound in the rings. On the back, I put a photo mat here and then one of the die cuts. Here's a piece of the coordinating cardstock that I had left over. I cut it into a tag shape, so it's 6 inches tall by 4½. I did a couple of these. On this one, I put a little tag through the hole and tied a little bit of ribbon. This was from my stash, but it all is from Country Craft Creations. So I did that. On the back, I did this like a little tuck spot, so you could put a picture behind there and then tuck it behind that little die cut. This is another die cut that I did so you could tuck a picture behind. On the penguin page, on the back of here, another photo mat, and then one of the cut aparts that says "Get Cozy." Here's another 4x6 cut apart. On the back of this one, I put one of the die cuts that says "Love You Snow Much," so you could put a picture back there. Another photo mat. This is one of the chipboard stickers that I did it so that you could put a picture underneath, and then this is glued on. This is one of the ephemera bits. Then on the back of this is a board page again. I did a couple pattern paper pages, which is coming up. I'll show you that in a minute. This was a piece that was kind of halfway cut, a snow globe piece, and so I just kind of finished it and right angled it here and put it at the corner for a little tuck, and then I used one of the pieces of pattern paper I had left over for a photo mat. And again, these were 3¼ by 4¼ so they'll fit a 3x4 photo really nicely. This is a piece of pattern paper that I had left over, and what I did was I just glued another piece of pattern paper to it to create a pocket. So the page itself was 6x6, and this is obviously 6 inches by 2½. And then here is a die cut that I glued on the top, and then I used a couple pieces of the scrap papers to make a couple different tags. And those will go in that pocket. And then the back of this, I left plain, used one of the stickers here and here, and then you could put a photo back here. Here's another cut apart. You can do journaling up here, and I added one of the chipboard stickers that says "So Cold." Here it says "Snow Apocalypse" here, another place for a picture, photo mat, and another die cut. This is, again, a chipboard piece. Here I did the "Let It Snow" ephemera piece. I put 2 stickers on the sides, and then I did it like a little pocket, and I put these cute little teeny tiny ephemera pieces in there for that, and then you could put a picture up in here. Here was a piece of the colored cardstock, the coordinated cardstock that I had left over, and it was kind of a big piece. So I cut it at 6 inches wide, and then I scored it at 6 inches, and that kind of created a flap where I used the 4x4 cut apart here, and then on the back of that I just put a piece of the pattern paper behind that was really cute with the snow globes, and then there's a big place for a photo here. Added a sticker here, and then I cut the paper for behind the 4x4 at 4¼ by 4¼ so I had that cute little border there. Thought that was cute to do. On the back of here, these are ephemera pieces that say "Chill," the banner, and then I just glued them at the top so you could tuck a picture underneath. Here's a 4x6 cut apart again. This was a tag from the collection that I just did so you could tuck a picture behind, glued it on the 2 sides. And then here is another board page, little ephemera piece up there. Another photo mat. Here's an ephemera piece and then one of the chipboard stickers. Here is another cut apart, and there were some ephemera pieces. One was a little bit bigger than the other one, so I just kind of used it kind of like a mat on the other side, but just created a little tab on the top there and then one on the back there. Here's another piece of the pattern paper that I made into a tag. So again, it's 4.5 by 6, and I just put a little piece of ribbon through there. And then this was a tag from the ephemera pack that I just glued on 2 sides, tied a little bit of ribbon through there, and then you can tuck something, pictures, whatever, underneath there. So here's where I used a little bit of the glitter paper and I put it on the, or behind the ephemera piece, and then I did it so you could tuck a picture behind that. This is one of the chipboard pieces. This piece is blank. This is another coordinating cardstock piece that I made the tag out of, and then I used the ephemera piece and I did it so that you could tuck a picture under there. And then back here is a chipboard piece that says chili. Here is another pattern paper page. So I put a photo mat on here, and then this is one of the little tag pieces, and I took the inside of that little frame piece and adhered it to a piece of the glitter cardstock, and then just kind of layered that there, and you can tuck your picture behind. And then I did another pocket, so I just got another piece of scrap paper and then glued that there and used this ephemera piece here. And I can tell I forgot to put ribbon there. But I can go back and do that. I'll just go in my stash and grab some ribbon, so I do need to do that. Here's a chipboard piece again. It says freezing season, and I did it so that, or did I glue it down? No, I didn't. I glued it down so you could tuck a picture underneath there. Photo mat, and again, another ephemera piece on the back of a piece of cardstock. And here I used one of the 4x4s, and I scored it at 1/2 inch so that it created a little flat page. So you could put a picture behind there. Then you turn this over. This is again, a coordinating cardstock piece. So again, I scored it at 6, cut it 6 wide, and then created a flap. And I just did a second one that just opens up the other way. And this is a 4x4 cut apart, 4¼ by 4¼ behind, piece of paper. And then I used this little ephemera piece that says treetops glisten there. Another 4x4 journal, or 4x6 journaling card, I should say. So you can do some journaling there, and then a picture here. And then this is the back page. This is another photo mat, another ephemera piece. And then here is the back of the album. So that's what I did to create this. So again, this was really just a scrap project. I used the 2 chipboard pieces, heavyweight chipboard, that were in the collection, my design team pack, and I just cut them again at 6x6. So I ended up getting 8 pages out of the 2 pieces of chipboard, and then I covered them with the pattern paper. I again used 4 sheets of the pattern paper to cover those boards front and back, and then just added things in between as I had scraps for. So that was kind of a quick and easy way to use up the rest of my design team package and create a really fun album that has a lot of places for photos. I mean, this thing can be loaded with photos. So I think this is a great project. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you check out my other tutorials. Go check out Country Craft Creations at countrycraftcreations.com, and you know, get some supplies and get to crafting. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you had fun. Have a great day and stay crafty. I will see you again soon with more fun things. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.